Hello guys, just got in the mission. I wanted to make sure we have to slay a boss. We're gonna use the Manifest Armor build. I'm level 75 in a level 90 area. Look at this clear. I don't even need to use all my power-ups on it. He just one-shots everything. It's not the fastest of all clears, but it's not slow either. And you're extremely tanky as well. Let's quickly go find the boss. It's up there. Okay, this build, before you skip ahead and go looking at the skill page, it's important to realize that this build relies heavily on gear. So apart from looking at the skills and how I set them up, you should also look at the gear. I'll probably talk about the gear in the end after I finish the tree and the skills, but it's really important to get the gear right. Buffing him up, and that's the boss. Basically one-shotted. Okay, I quickly went back to the end of time to show you the damage on the training dummy. Poor thing. As you see, he's critting for 100k, but that's not enough for us, right? Can easily go 350,000. Oh, he doesn't really want to crit right now. Come on, man. Yeah, 300s. My gear is not that strong, that's why he's not critting a lot, but it's enough to see the power it can have. Mana, for skills, we go Shield Throw, we go Javelin, Manifest Armor, Smite, and the Void Cleave. For Shield Throw, we want to get the Aegis armor, so we get a lot of armor, and we want to give him armor as well. The last point is going into Testament of Light, which increases the effect of Aegis by 6% per point of attunement. So the more attunement we get, the more armor the Manifest Armor is gonna get. We also need the Manifest Inspiration, which makes him do that AoE when we throw a shield at him. To also look at our armor. When we're throwing shields, we go up to 60%, 65% reduced damage, and my attack speed is not that fast because my gear is not that good. Anyway, when you're speccing into shield throw, you want to go down here first, so you remove the cooldown. Then you want to get the Manifest Inspiration, then just get your armor and get his armor in the end. We get Javelin. We only want the Javelin for the Battle Standard and the Divine Intervention. So basically we get we basically double the attunement power. The attunement gives us gives the Manifest Armor. The attunement gives it, as you see here, 4% increased damage. The Javelin doubles it because it increases damage per attunement point by 4%. So we get 8% increased damage per point of attunement. Nothing really to say here. It's just for healing. The last point goes in more healing, but you don't really want anything except the Smite and the Banner. When I'll talk about Smite now, since they are related. For Smite, this will start casting automatically when you put your Javelin down. It will start casting Smite, and it still applies the attack speed as if you're casting it yourself. Because it's when you hit an enemy with Smite, it doesn't matter if it's casted by you or by the Javelin. You're still gonna get the 20% attack speed, which makes you throw faster shields and make the Manifest Inspiration proc. And then you just want healing, Smite healing and some area. So basically the Javelin will hit the enemy, it will proc a heal, and it will give you a bunch of health regeneration, 150 bonus health regeneration. We have 272 health, plus 150, it's like if we get hit, our life is gonna pop back up instantly. Void Cleave, you basically want the Molten Infusion. It gives you a buff on hit, which increases his damage by a lot. It's base damage and you can cast it twice. So you want Molten Blades and Scorching Pet to increase the Molten Infusion effect, which is gonna give him a lot of base stats. and then you want it to have 2 additional charges. Basically, when you see a boss, you just go void cleave, and attack, and he will two-shot him. It's not even a challenge. You don't. I barely use javelin because he just two-shots everything. For your manifest armor, I'm gonna have 22 points. Oh, I forgot to mention in void cleave, their next points don't really matter. You just want 2 charges and 5 points in Molten Blades, 1 point in Scorching Path. The rest are all travel points. You can do whatever you want in the next ones. The increased cooldown recovery speed is nice, and I'm going for more area, just so I can be lazy and just basically have more odds of hitting him if I just click it. For Manifest Armor, I managed to get +2 armor on it with my helmet, but you're fine with just +1 because you want to get the Titan Mace, so you equip your weapon and then you just get the stats and the Force of Impact. The final point I'll probably put in tick padding, so he gets stun immunity, but you don't need this. He's really strong anyway. Okay, for talents, 20 points in Sentinel, you get some strength, you get some vitality, and you get the reduced damage taken. In Forge Guard, we got 10 strength, we got some health, we got attunement, it's very important. We get the Folded Steel, which is really amazing because it gives us base damage on our Manifest Armor, which will deal a lot more damage. We get more strength and more health, and then we get 2 travel points, and finally we get the 3 out of 3 in Shield Crafter. We don't really care about the shields, obviously, we just want the 150% extra minion health, which is a lot, and the increased armor for the minions, which is also a lot because we'll be giving him armor with shield throw, so his armor is gonna be huge. Paladin nodes, well, let me start with Void Knight. Void Knight, we want Abyssal Endurance. I'm getting 5 more points in Abyssal Endurance, so 10 points in total eventually. And then I'll go for the Paladin. We're getting Attunement, we're getting some health, we're getting Blinding Lights for the Endurance. More points after finishing the 10 points in Void Knight. We'll go back to the Paladin, get more points here as travel points, and we'll go for the Attunement. And that should round up the build. Then if you get more points, try and get more attunement, more health. Don't really need any more damage on the Manifest Armor. He deals so much damage that he one-shots everything. Okay, the gear. The gear is really important. You need to understand how the Manifest Armor work. The Manifest Armor gets stats from our armor. So basically he's wearing 200% of our plate mail. So he's wearing 2 of our mail, of our chest piece. He's wearing 3 of our gloves, and again 3 shoes and 3 helmets. That's how you have to think about it, and 1 sword. It's really important that he has our weapon as well. Now at first, for the weapon, this is really important. I was going for 2-hander mace because this one has 10% crit as base and 9% crit we can add. So basically if I equip this, and I need to resummon it to refresh it, and attack, he's gonna crit all the time. I can't stop critting. But I can't use Void Glyph, and Void Glyph gives him an enormous amount of base damage. I can kind of cheat just to show you, because it won't reset him. He still thinks he has my mace equipped until you change, like if you go somewhere else it's gonna reset, but right now it's not. So I can show you his full power once I get a better sword. As you see, it's all full crits, 300Ks all the time. Alright, so you want to think as your gear as the armor is wearing your helmet, your chest, and your gloves. So you need to think as if he's equipping it. Now, having said that, we want a sword. Ignore the lightning damage because I didn't really get a good sword, but it's better to get physical damage, to have it all as physical, and instead of this sword you want to get the other one, the barricade. You want to get the barricade axe, I mean, not a sword, because the barricade gives us 130 melee physical damage as base stat, so we're gonna get a lot of melee physical damage from it, and this is all gonna extremely increase with all the crit we're gonna get. The bleed chance, kinda ignore it, we just want the base stat here, the 130. So I didn't, it didn't drop one for me, but imagine having 40 more melee base damage with this. Then you get the melee physical damage and you get crit. It's important to get that 9% melee crit. That's gonna be buffed by a lot. The manifest armor has 5 crit of its own. Then you get 9 more, that's 14. Then you want gloves with a lot of crit strike. You want crit, and imagine that he's wearing 3 of those. 80. So this is 80 crit strike chance, but he's wearing 3 of them. So it's 8, 16, 24 to 140% more crit. Even the attack speed, it says 10%, but he's wearing 3 of them, so that's 30%. Well, you get the idea. Helmet, you want, this might look weird, the Vengeance, we're not using Vengeance, but you want it because of that increased melee damage. Again, he's wearing 3 of our helmets, so that 30% increased melee damage counts as 100 almost for him. It's 90% increased melee damage for him. You want the +2 manifest armor, +1 is fine. The +50 increased minion damage is not gonna do anything when he's wearing the helmet. It's gonna do it when you're wearing it. He's only gonna get 50% more damage from it, nothing more. The health regen and health regen is important because again, the smite will give you more healing regeneration, so it's gonna make you basically immortal. For the chest looks kind of weird because we have Forge Strike and Warpath. Again, we're not using them, but we want that melee damage. My rolls aren't really good, they're tier 1, tier 4, but you get the idea of what we need. We need melee damage, Any other ability, plus ability that gives us melee damage works. It doesn't have to be Warpath and Forge Strike. Then it's health regeneration and health. Mana, for the necklace, it's now the necklace, the minion is not gonna be wearing them. This is only applies to us, so we get minion health and minion damage on it. The rings, this ring is not that great. This one is a little bit better. We want health regeneration, attunement, and minion damage on both of them. The boots, this boots is amazing. It's where we're getting all our crit multiplier from. It's not a perfectly rolled one. The perfect one, let's say it's 100. So with just these boots, you get 300% melee crit strike multiplier, which is huge. Ignore the -75 physical resistance. It sounds like a lot, but it doesn't really do anything. Our manifest armor has so much health and so much regeneration that it doesn't matter. And finally, for the relic, we want minion damage, attunement, health, and health regeneration. I'm low on attunement, but you need to get some more attunement. My gear is not really that great, but focus on attunement because the javelin will double its power basically. For idols, just go with resistances where you need vitality, health. You don't really need any more damage, so all the idols are gonna be for health and improving your own ability. And that's basically it. It's a really fun build, it's really strong, you're really hard to kill. I died on Lagoon because he was charging his beam. I kind of panicked a little bit. I started walking along the beam, so I got the full beam and eventually died. It really sucked, but you shouldn't die unless you do like a brain fart like me. But yeah, that's the build. Feel free to ask any question you wanna ask. Oh, another thing that I forgot to mention, the abilities here can be changed. If you don't like the javelin and the smite, although I suggest keeping them for the healing. If you maybe don't want to use void cleave, you want to go with the mace for the 100% crit, you can change it with either Forward Strike just to get some more minions. But if you were to use Forward Strike, I would suggest keeping Void Cleave. Maybe if you don't want to throw shields, you just want to be more passive, you just want to have the Manifest Armor and have the minions from Forward Strike do the damage. You can replace the shield with a Forward Strike and then switch a bit the talent tree around and go for remove some points in here and go for the Hammer and Anvil. So you take some travel points here, get the Hammer and Anvil, which gives you 25 reduced damage on you. You're not gonna be throwing anything, so you won't change into hammer stance, you will get the 25% less damage, which will make up for the armor you're gonna lose when throwing the shield. Although I think that with shield throw you're gonna get way more armor and damage reduction than you're gonna get with the hammer forge thingy. Yeah, and that's it. So try this build out. I highly suggest it. It's really fun and it's really strong. And like and subscribe if you feel like it's a good build, because I'll plan on putting out more. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time. Bye.